Here is a 2024 BMW X5M competition in black sapphire metallic over black full Milano leather. 4 water pumps, 6 radiators, and a dedicated transmission cooler to get this thing on the track because 0 to 60 is at 3.7 seconds. At least that's what BMW is quoting. In which, when you're comparing to the rivals and pros and cons, you're going to see why this is one of the best variants out. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. We received a full LCI, which is a mid-cycle refresh, and you're going to see that in the front fascia. It's going to be more athletic and bold, but yet sleek and boxy, which is exactly what the X line is going for. But when you get into the M, you're getting M-specific bumpers. You get the X that's going to integrate into the revised LED headlights and daytime runnings, working into the rework curtain. Everything's opened up for the twin turbo, twin scrolled V8 engine, new kidney grille with the matte black that's going to surround the horizontal bars with the X5M logo, keeping the same proportion layout but making it more muscular and athletic. So I like that BMW has went that route because you can't really change too much when you're near 50-50 weight distribution. Staggered setup up front is going to get a 295 35 21 inch multi-spoke alloy wheels. The rear will get a 315 30 22 inch wheel. Behind those wheels is going to house that red brake caliper with 6 pistons in the front, ventilated, slotted, ready for the track, housing a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 producing 617 horsepower with the competition, 553 pound-feet of torque that's paired to the 8-speed ZF Sport automatic transmission. Going into comparable rivals, Porsche Cayenne Turbo would be the closest fit to this because you're getting the same 0 to 60s, around $10,000 to $15,000 more. Audi RS-Q8, you hear me talking about it. I've had a few reviews about it. Excellent car, detuned Lamborghini Urus, same 0 to 60s, and you're getting more savings here. That's what you're getting. A vehicle that can compete with more or less a Lamborghini Urus, and you're saving, basically buying a his and her at the price point that you're at. Standard 2-axle air suspension, M-Tune suspension, M-Tune X drive, which is the all-wheel drive, which will send 100% of power to the rear wheels. Now on the cons, you're not going to be able to really tow with this vehicle. I don't think I would cut the diffuser in that M-spec bumper because it's super aggressive with the quad exhaust tips. You get the 360-degree reverse camera, front and rear parking sensors, reworked 3-dimensional LED taillights, lower roof spoiler that's going to help with downforce because let's face it, even though this is a SUV, it's still track worthy. Reworked shark fin antenna and kick to open cargo at 23 cubic feet of storage underneath the floor. Gets the spare tire, 12 volts. Split fold the rear bench at a 40-20-40 split, increasing cargo to 66 cubic feet. It does set up because you have right at 8 inches of clearance. This is a twin turbo V8. Let's go inside, start up so you can hear that exhaust note. Two-way power seat adjustment for the front occupants. Heated, ventilated, X5M badging that illuminates, massage seats, memory for both of the front. Headroom is not going to be an issue, nor is leg space. It's a deep footwell for a vehicle that's track worthy. The X5 starts with the new dashboard and new ambient lighting with the M badging, satin aluminum with the carbon fiber leather dashboard, so keeping the heritage of the traditional M competition inside instead of using Sensafin dash. Bauer & Wilkins upgraded sound system, Alcantara for the headliner, the new iX or BMW curved one screen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, Wi-Fi hotspot. Put it into reverse and we have a 360 camera with full trajectory for the front and the rear. When you click onto here, you got your 3D view, which you can use gesture. You can use the iDrive 8 mouse or simply touch on the screen. Click back into the more, you get the car wash view, which will show the trajectory in the front so you don't scratch your staggered wheel setup. Go back into the 3D view, or your parking view, and you can record the parking so the vehicle will park itself the same way you came in. Reworked air vents that come out of the X7, carbon fiber that opens up into a wireless charging pad, USB. These are heated and ventilated cup holders. The new key fob for the X5M competition, and I like the carbon fiber that outlines and the ambient lighting there. Just paying attention to detail and not putting the rocker, keeping the traditional M with the leather that's going around the gear lever, all of your settings to make it more athletic for that exhaust note and to put it in sport or track. Open up inside, it's a pretty decent sized storage pocket with the USB port. When you go into the M menu, it comes with road, sport, or track. Leather wrap steering wheel, 3-spoke multi-function, M badging, M1 and M2 paddle shifters, which you know the routine, carbon fiber for the actual paddle shifters. The gauge cluster is a 12.3 and you can change the content in the center, and you can also do so for the heads-up display. But when you are in sport or track, it will not give the function for the AR, which will give you the camera for the front. The heads-up display has been reworked, so I do like the setup of it. It looks a lot more aggressive, especially when you put it into sport and track mode. The speakers start with the aluminum inlays. Soft to touch, all the materials is going to be on the doors. One touch up and down for the windows, ambient lighting, and the speakers with that aluminum underneath the carbon fiber. A large storage pocket with the beverage holder carved out, and we get a long pano moonroof with the LED lounge, which gives us all ambient lighting inside. So at nighttime, this will light up the same color as the ambient lighting that's found throughout the car. For the back seat, this is a traditional SUV. It's not playing with headspace. You have plenty. Same thing with leg space, and you get storage behind both of the front seats. USB port behind both of the front seats. Quad climate control, so you have a dual climate control in the rear with heated rear seats, a tray, USB ports, 12 volt, and in the center, you get the cup holders with storage that you can fit a couple of cell phones. The door panel starts off with manual sunshades. Same materials that's found in the front come into the rear, carbon fiber, ambient lighting, and about the same size storage pocket that's in the front. The floor is not completely flat, so you will have to pick your feet up just a little bit. The rails are pushed up enough, so feet space is not really an issue because it's a wide vehicle. The same thing with butt and shoulder space. You're not going to have too many issues if you have to sit in the center at 6'3". 26 horsepower more than the RS Q8. 76 horsepower more than the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. 617 horsepower. Here we go. It's a fun vehicle. 3.7 BMW is saying reaching 60, and it's not going to be necessarily something that's conservative in fuel, but a 50.1, 49.9 weight distribution, which is the best in class, especially considering the value that you're getting. Look at the exit. Oh man. It's definitely going to put a smile on your face. And I know you're probably saying, well, the vehicle does cost over 6 figures, but you're also getting a tuned track vehicle. This is a complete package. You don't have to do anything to it. That's what I like about BMW, because sometimes when you buy vehicles, you want to get more power. You can still get more power, don't get me wrong, but as it sits, I mean, how much faster do you need to get a speeding ticket? Because this thing is crazy. It will take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with the pros about the new X5M competition has to be how they kept the actual center cluster here. We don't have the rocker, and I like this because you really need it to be as athletic as possible. Sculpt it with the same dashboard layout, that's fine. Giving us the new ambient lighting with the M badging, that's cool, and also putting an M on the gauge cluster too. Some other pros about the vehicle is on the exterior, they keep the dynamic styling and they implement the X on the lower bumper to go into the headlamp assembly. Some cons about the vehicle: no increase in power for the LCI. Here we go. I guess another con would be that you get to 60 so darn quick that you would really need to take this on the track at least once a month, because you're not going to get that performance out of it just going to 60. Even though it's a performance variant, everyday drive, you're still going to hear that twin turbo V8, which is definitely a pro because it's so quiet otherwise. Going back to some cons, I'm not a huge fan of the air vents in the center because they are smaller and you have to pretty much turn the air up a little bit more so to feel it. I like that we have the massage seats. When you're at this price point, you need to have over 20-way power seat adjustment in the front. I would have liked to see power sunshades and maybe where we could fold the rear bench in the cargo, because it is a longer vehicle. You're at nearly 195 inches long, and it would just make it a little bit easier for day in and day out use. The way the seats bolster you though is a lot more comfortable than I would say an X3 or X4, because it's an actual seat that you can drive in for a daily use, and it's still kind of sculpted to your body so you feel that performance, especially when you put it on track mode. And because of the price point that it is, it's definitely a sweet spot, because no vehicle is going to have this much power until you start going to a higher price point, and even the services is going to be more expensive than it will be on the BMW side. So for that everyday drive, it's definitely giving the competition a ride, because when you get into a Porsche, for instance, standard services are going to be nearly $1,000 a year, especially when you start going up the tier to $130,000 or $140,000 Porsche. It's not going to be inexpensive. Here, you got $250 oil change. You're not going to be able to get that with the RSQ8 either, because it's a detuned Lamborghini engine. Definitely a vehicle that will put a smile on your face. Turn radius is going to receive about 2 lanes. Let's see how she goes. It's the type of vehicle you pull up next to somebody in a red light, they're gonna look at it and be like, whoa. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2024 BMW X5M competition for our car review.